Now that we have clearly defined dangerous goods and have a better understanding of how they pose a threat to the aviation industry, let's take a look at Module 2, which shall talk about the provisions of carriage of dangerous goods.
In this module, we shall learn what are the categories of dangerous goods and what items may be permitted to be carried in passenger and crew baggage.
Let's begin by answering the first question. What are the categories of dangerous goods?
Well, there are two categories of dangerous goods: forbidden dangerous goods and acceptable or permitted dangerous goods.
Forbidden dangerous goods are further divided into two categories: totally forbidden and forbidden unless exempted. Totally forbidden dangerous goods are goods which should never be carried on an aircraft as they are too dangerous. For example, radioactive materials with a very high radiation, explosives such as TNT and RDX, poisonous gases such as chlorine, etc. Forbidden unless exempted are those dangerous goods which are forbidden under normal circumstances but can be carried when they are exempted by the state authorities. For example, in case of war, state authorities may allow the transportation of arms and ammunitions, explosives, etc., which are otherwise forbidden for carriage. Acceptable or permitted dangerous goods are the ones that are allowed to be carried on an aircraft.
Within the acceptable, permitted dangerous goods, there are some dangerous goods which can be carried on both passenger as well as on cargo aircrafts, and there are some dangerous goods which can be carried only on cargo aircrafts.
Now, let's answer the second question. What items may be permitted to be carried in passenger and crew baggage?
Regulations permit certain dangerous goods to be carried in baggage by passengers and crew members, as it may be required for personal or medical use. Let's see a few examples. For personal use, example, liquor, perfume, mobile phones, hairdryer, etc. Or medical use, example, oxygen cylinders, pacemakers.
The conditions and regulations for carriage of such items are specified in Table 2.3a in the IATA DGR manual.
Table 2.3a outlines which dangerous goods are permitted in hand baggage and which ones are permitted in checked-in baggage, which goods are permitted to be carried on oneself, which goods require the approval of the operator, when does the pilot need to be informed when these goods are on board.
Column 3 lays the details of dangerous goods permitted with one person, that is, on self. The easiest way to understand this table is to take an example. So let us consider a passenger who is on a battery-powered wheelchair and the wheelchair is required to be transported.
In that case, let's first locate where in the table is wheelchairs mentioned. There are two instances which mention wheelchairs. Let's understand them one at a time. First, let's see wheelchairs with non-spillable batteries. Let's see the adjacent columns. What does it mention? Is the wheelchair permitted as hand luggage? No. Is the wheelchair permitted as checked-in baggage? Yes. Is the wheelchair permitted on oneself? No. Do I need the approval of the operator? Yes. Does the pilot need to be informed of its location? No.
The second type of wheelchairs are with the spillable batteries. What does the table mention for this type of wheelchair? Is the wheelchair permitted as hand luggage? No. Is the wheelchair permitted as checked-in baggage? Yes. Is the wheelchair permitted on oneself? No. Do I need the approval of the operator? Yes. Does the pilot need to be informed of its location? Yes.
Professor, why should we inform the pilot in one case and not the other?
That is because of the type of batteries which are fitted in the wheelchair. 1. Spillable batteries are those batteries which contain corrosive liquids which may leak. Finest example being car batteries, inverters, etc. If the corrosive liquid in these batteries spills, it could cause severe damage to the aircraft. 2. Non-spillable batteries. They are dry batteries and do not spill or leak. For example, the ones found in a pencil cell, laptop, or a cell phone.
Let's see a few more examples of dangerous goods which are commonly permitted to be carried by passengers and crew.
Camping stoves, perfumes, alcohol, medical equipment like pacemakers, cigarette lighters, hairdryers, etc. Please keep in mind that these items are permitted to be carried in limited quantities as mentioned in the IATA DGR Manual, Table 2.3a.
There are certain other dangerous goods which are transported for the use of the airline or the operator. For example, fire extinguishers, oxygen bottles, medical kits, oxygen generators, etc.
Most of the equipments like fire extinguishers, oxygen bottle, life jackets, medical kits, etc. are required by the cabin crew for the safety of passengers. However, all aircraft parts such as oxygen generators being transported by air shall be treated as dangerous goods and all necessary precautions are to be taken for their transport, which was not the case in the ValueJet example which we saw earlier. That brings us to the end of Module 2. So, in this module, we have learned what are the categories of dangerous goods and what items may be permitted to be carried in passenger and crew baggage. Thank you.